Hi, I am Somah, and this is an educational guided video, meaning I'm teaching you how to teach others. I'm going to dedicate this one to prenatal and postnatal when we do not want to create intensity and heat in the belly in any way, shape, or form. We will use what we call feather light breathing. So you feel like you're drawing energy in softly and just gently blowing like a feather away. That would be how we want to use all forms of prana as it relates to pre and postnatal. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump into some fun, fiery, active kriyas. And one of my favorite ones is Maha Durga. When we step into motherhood, whether this is a first pregnancy or not, there is a ferocious energy that a mother has to take on. She needs to know how to hear the baby. She needs to know how to call BS on anybody else around that isn't going to serve her and the baby, whether it ends up turning into a hospital birth, whether it ends up being an unwanted visitor that decides to show up the last minute, whether it ends up being whatever her situation, she's becoming Durga, that Maha energy, ferocious force. So standing wide, the arms get to reach out wide, Maha, and then bend down, draw the elbows back. And as you do, the fists come up, Durga. So we straighten the knees, Maha, Durga, Maha, Durga, Maha, Durga. Now watch as you do that, because we might not want to go for more than, say, 45 seconds to a minute, because the elevated heart rate will come up and we don't want to lose balance, and you're protecting the space and all of that. So just use your own intuition. That might be a kriya set that you can do for a full 2 minutes if you have seasoned veteran yogi moms or people who've been, very, very active. It's a very intense, but you're asking them to step into who are you going to be empowered as? Who is this being who's growing within you, asking you to become? And so postpartum, it's fantastic too when the emotions are all over the place. Maha Durga, Maha Durga. And you can do it through tears. You can do it in a space of feeling like you have no power, feeling like you don't know what to do. And as you connect with these kriyas, this particular kriya, it will remind you of your power. So bring that into the awareness. Another one is Aham Shraddha. And I love Aham Shraddha because it can be seated, it can be standing, but Aham Shraddha is this wonderful butter churn. And the arms just go back and forth, back and forth. And I think of those old-fashioned butter churns. I'm going to turn my chair sideways and then I'm going to do it standing. But if I were seated, even like in a meditation cushion, and just draw the thumbs back and bring the pinkies forward. Aham Shraddha. Aham Shraddha. Aham Shraddha. And you feel this circle as you're doing it. Oh my gosh, it feels so good in the shoulders. It feels so good through the heart. It feels so good through the throat. If you're standing, it's a wonderful kriya to do at the beginning or the end of the day. Again, the stance is a little bit wider than normal. And you draw the thumbs back. Aham Shraddha. Aham Shraddha. Aham Shraddha means I am devotion. And if there's no more way of devoting yourself to humanity than by carrying a child to bring forth into humanity. So as you're in that space, Aham Shraddha, you're reminding them of that devotion, the devotion to the child, the devotion to the self, the devotion to their own work, reminding them that now as a mother, you must put on your oxygen mask first. You must devote self-care so that this being gets a whole aspect of you. Fantastic, wonderful kriya to do. Works with the low back. You can bend the knees gently. You can have the knees light, tall. You can sit on a chair. You can sit against kind of a bed. It really opens up the heart and the shoulders, connecting with that level of devotion. Calling of the Sufi, fantastic when we're pregnant. Again, the stance is wide, the hands are on the heart. Deep inhalation, deep knee bend, sweep the arm wide, and we're drawing that energy. Rumi was a Sufi poet. So connecting with some of the beautiful mystical forces of Rumi. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that hand bending down, moving the body, deep breath in, calming the nervous system. Every time you bend down, every time you sweep the arm around, you're calling in the love from the universe. Come in and connect with me. Come in, I'm inviting you in your wisdom, calling in the ancestors, calling in all the women who've given birth before. And you have that knee bend, allowing you really just to keep the back supported. So after doing that a few rounds, then you reverse it. And what is this mother? What is this woman, this being want to give out to the world? Bending down, taking your hand and just releasing out. And the hand comes back. So the movement's similar, but it's just a different exhalation. Inhale, exhale it out. She's taking and delivering to all the women who are suffering, to all of those who are in ignorance and are in a space, to the future of her unborn baby, to the ancestors of the dad, you're just taking the hand from the heart and now sprinkling out into the world anything that you feel could utilize your blessing. Postpartum, again, sending that energy out to your baby, sending that energy out to their teenage years, really getting connected with what it is that you have the capacity to do when you're engaging your mind, your heart, and your body. Shringara, one of my favorite seated breathing kriyas. Fantastic to do at the beginning and the end of a class, or at any moment of time when they're feeling a sense of overwhelmment. Left hand comes on the heart, right hand, it's like you're holding the feather of a quill, like a feather, a quill pen. So you're going to trace a figure 8 pattern on its side. I'm tracing on its side. Put my left hand on my heart. My eyes are soft, smiling through my eyes, softness in the cheeks. Shringara. Inhaling and exhaling. You're actually screenwriting this space, this beautiful birth, this easeful time with your partner. You can use this at any form of your life, creating a new business, gathering more income, shifting the mess in your closet. You see yourself crystallizing what it is that you long for in your heart, and your right hand represents going out and doing that. Your left hand represents staying and creating from your heart. Your right hand is the doer, the left hand is the creator. This is definitely a kriya, moving kriya, that if the body gets stuck and the mind gets stuck, we'll start to feel that there's intensity in the shoulder. If you keep breathing and moving, the fingertips and the 3 fingers are elevated and the thumb and the index finger are connected, you'll pass through anything uncomfortable. And then we remind ourselves that when we long for something and we have this journey, sometimes things get uncomfortable, but we just keep breathing and we just keep moving through it, breathing and moving through it, and smiling through the eyes with what it is that we are crystallizing, taking into manifestational form. And then at the end of that time, you have them release the feather, seeing it floating up, bringing the right hand over the left, really solidifying that intention. Fantastic way of closing out a particular practice. Now, another pranayama practice that I would love to do, I'm looking through my little notes, Sa-ta-na-ma. Sa-ta-na-ma. So you touch the tips of each of the fingers. Then you touch the fingernail. Sa-ta-na-ma. Sa-ta-na-ma. Then you touch the knuckle. Sa-ta-na-ma. Sa-ta-na-ma. ma. So let's go back to the tip. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Nail, sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Knuckle, sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. I stayed there on that one. So you could go 3 of each, you could go 1 of each. The sa, ta, na, ma is the evolution of consciousness mantra that starts to activate the different energies that relate to all the different planetary influences, all of the different elements. So maybe we just do 1 of each. Sa, ta, na, ma, nail, sa, ta, na, ma, knuckle, sa, ta, na, ma. Start it all over again. See what I mean by 1 of each? Or maybe you just don't want to complicate things. Usually if the mind is super active and you're trying to get them back into their space, the more complex, like that Sukha Shunya breathing that we did in another video, and this particular kriya will be very, very beneficial at getting them out of their mind and into the space. The other one is Om Namah Shivaya. That's commanding the power, commanding your attention, commanding the forces of nature. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Now, variations are exactly the same that I did with Satanama, where you could go through each of the fingertips, then do each of the fingernails. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Then go down to the knuckle. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Back to the tip. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Nail. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Knuckle. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Are you understanding how to play with the mudra depending upon the activity of the person in front of you? Do they need more to do? Or is there too much going on? They just need to slow down. They don't even want to do the mudra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Maybe they don't want to do the mantra. Maybe they strictly just want to do the mudra. Right? It's a space in the mind. When you are working with them on the ground and doing the basic cat cows, of course, cat cows, opposite hand, elbow, knee as they can, drawing out, but a modification, come into a child's pose, come back up, other hand, elbow, join it out, squeeze the elbow knee together, extend back out, and then back into the child's pose. Working with the lower back energy, anything can pass through them, anything. All things have answers. I have to go to the other side so I can balance it out. And then I just allowing that space, of course, of child's pose. Allowing the hip flexors, allowing the back, allowing the whole body. Then creator pose can be a nice side body. So having the foot supported out on the side, moving the arm around. Moving the arm around, just opening up the shoulder, feeling the hand, the knee, the foot supporting underneath, both sides. Using that foot slightly out in front so there's no concern about balance. Just allowing the weight of the body, the back, the belly, the shoulder, the head. So good, so good, so good. And then you can end with that blooming lotus. Join the palms together, connecting with the seed, bringing the hands to the belly, bringing the hands up into lotus mudra, sipping the air in exhaling out. When you have that experience, what do you feel? As a mind-body guide, you already have your experience. You already have your own favorite sequences. The invitation is to play along, see what little nuggets you got from this, and how you can support somebody else, but have your own experience first. Do it for 4 minutes. Do it for 2 minutes. Imagine that belly there. Imagine the concepts, the fears, the ideas going through the mind. Let me know how this supports you. Let me know if when you're ready to put together your own sequence, how you do that, how long you hold each for, and what your experience was. Keep it weird, keep it fun, keep it unique. All the freaky people make the beauty of the world. Michael Franti. All right, have a good one. Rock on.